welcome to the Igniting Souls Fellowship for May, and I am so happy to be here. I hope you are too. We are going to be talking about how free can either cannibalize or catapult your business. I'm sure many of you have had different things throughout your life with marketing where you've had free come into your household or whatnot. First thing that comes to mind for me are, do you guys remember, or maybe you have little kids, cereal? Do you remember how like they would give away freebies in there? There'd be like little toys and they were junk. But somehow you had to have that cereal because it had Rainbow Bright that's purple, and you have to get the green one and the blue one. And it was a really good tool for you to buy the cereal that was not good for you. And you know, but that being said, when we're talking about free, it's more than that. It's more than just a little free piece of junk. What Kary has to offer, what he's going to be speaking about today, is about how free can catapult your business in a way that's going to impact lives. You know, it's not about just selling something or whatever. As Kary always says, selling is serving, right? So as you're over there in the Facebook realm, go ahead and type something in that has been free to you that Kary has done if you've been a part of following him for a while, and let us know something. A couple things that come to mind for me are right here, right now. This event happens once a month, and it's been happening for, I don't know how many years, like maybe five years. That's a long time for Kary to give away a few hours once a month to anybody who wants to come to this live event. He gives away free coaching, a lot of offers, but above and beyond that, lately he's been doing it live for all of you online there, and it's free for anyone who wants to watch the replay. So all of this value every single month really adds up. Who here has been impacted by something within this monthly fellowship? Okay, yeah, there's so many hands out here in the crowd. And I'm sure online there too as well. Some other ways that I've seen Kary really practice what he preaches in this message that we're going to hear is the fact that he's given away free books. Anyone here received a book from him before? All right, yeah, me too. And it's really impacted my life as well. There's also the VIP group. Anyone in here involved in the VIP group that he does for free? Yeah, you don't have to be a client. You can just go on and get free value added and participate. All of the stuff that he puts in there is completely free. So he really does practice what he preaches and really helps us with our businesses, and whether we're a coach, speaker, author, or whatnot. I want to bring up our chief igniter, Kary Oberbrunner.
Awesome. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, me too. You know, I was just thinking in the bathroom before I came up here, okay? My best thinking is in the bathroom usually. But I was thinking, what a dream. You know what I'm saying? Joel, I was just thinking that. I saw your face, I knew I couldn't shake your hand or anything because I was running the bathroom before. But what a dream come true. I mean, this has been around now for 5 years. 5 years ago, I had a day job. Is that Glenn? What is up? See? Look at this, fantastic. I don't have my glasses on because I'm too vain to talk with glasses on. So.
I thought maybe you had contacts.
No, I don't. So anyway, it's great to see you guys. What a dream come true, though. We've been doing this now for years, and a superstar room. Seriously, a superstar room. I just met you, Becky, and it's been a blast. So we are going to jump in today. I'm calling this, the long version is that. The short version is a secret strategy for authors, coaches, and speakers. So how many of you have something right now that you could give away for free on a website or Facebook or social media? Anybody? Does anybody have something for free? That's good. That's actually good. A lot of times we say, you know what, I don't even have anything that I could give away for free. I did a podcast on this a few weeks ago, and a lot of people wrote in and said, you know, can you teach more about it? Can you give us more examples? So that's what I'm going to be doing today. How many of you are brand new? This is your first time at a fellowship. And we've met, though. Where?
On the internet.
On the internet. All right. That's never good.
Thank you, Al.
No, you're right. No. I totally remember. We chatted for a whole hour. You are the cancer research.
Yes.
Awesome, fantastic. Now it's all making sense. Listen. I'm 40. Every year I get older, it's like, okay, all right? So free is a tool. It can catapult or cannibalize your business. Now it's all making sense. Rye connected us. I totally get it. All right. Good stuff. So free is a tool. And it can catapult or cannibalize your business. It could actually cannibalize your business. You can give away too much. You can cheapen your brand. Any reason why Apple products, why they're so sought after? Are they giving away iPhones on the street corners? No, they're not giving away anything, someone said, right? So there is a balance. There is a secret formula that we're going to be talking about today. Some coaches, speakers, and authors give away everything. They give away everything. As a result, they cheapen their brand. Others, and you'll burn out. You'll burn out because your loved ones will start resenting you. Okay? The loved ones, I don't care if it's a pet, I don't care if it's brother, sister, family, friends, whoever, if you're constantly giving away everything and you're not bringing in an income, do you think your loved ones are going to tolerate you being away from them all the time? What do you think? Now, they want rewards, especially if you're the breadwinner in your family. They need you to bring in the bacon, as they say. They need you to bring an income in. Otherwise it's a hobby. And listen, this is why I'm so passionate about you going pro with your gig. Does this make sense? I know as long as your passion is a hobby, you will have what you have to do, and then you will have what you love to do. And the two will be separated. So think about that. You as a person will be divided. You will say, well, you know what? I would love to do that full time, but I have to do this. And this actually sucks my energy. I feel weaker when I'm done. That's what weaknesses do. If you know anything about Marcus Buckingham's Strength Finder, Strength Finder 2.0, Now Discover Your Strengths, all of that stuff is built around not that your strengths don't take energy, they do, but after you focus in your strengths, you feel stronger. You feel more alive. You feel more impassioned. Your weaknesses weaken you. For me, that's doing taxes. All right? Even though I have a CPA that I pay nicely, and I can give you his name, even preparing the taxes weakens me. I literally have to go through like a psychology ramp up, just to say, okay, Kary, get this done so you can actually do what you love again. And I'm the type of guy that throws receipts in the box for a whole year, okay? David, that's why I'm a smart guy. David, a business partner, he manages the business so it stays afloat. But me, I just, throw everything in the box, and then around March, I'm like, gotta go do that. So I'm done with that. Now I have like 10 months to be free again. I feel so good. Others never give away anything. They come off as greedy and stingy. Does anyone know businesses like this? Where, you call and you're just asking a question, and they're like, that'll be, $39.99 just to ask your 1-minute question, right? That's frustrating. And a lot of times what we do is we feel an emotion that we don't want to do business with them. The buying process is very emotional, okay? Renee, thank you for the intro. I did not ask you to share all those details about how many things I've given away free, but I want people, when they think of me, to think, that's a generous guy. Do you want to be around generous people? Anybody?
Sure.
Yeah, right. Do you want generous people to succeed? Yeah. So I try to model generosity, and I also coach generosity. I ask the people that I coach to model that too. In fact, here's a great slogan if you want. Renee said it, but this is kind of one of the smart things I said once in my life. Selling is serving, and marketing is storytelling. Selling is serving, and marketing is storytelling. So if you've never said, well, gee, I don't sell myself well, I don't sell products well, can you serve? And if you say, well, I'm not good at marketing, are you good at storytelling? Okay? Most commercials these days figure that out. You know, Super Bowl ads, whatever. They're telling stories. Even Facebook posts. I see authors, you know, I have over 300 authors that I coach. You know, I'm never thought I would be a publisher, but I am a publisher now, right? And it's fantastic. And let's bring our first guest up. Come on up. You don't know I'm doing this. Come on up. I do this often. I always wanted to be the host of The Price is Right. It's my secret desire. So we have people come on down. Was that the show? Yeah, come on.
Yay!
All right. So look at this book, Rise, What to Do When Hell Won't Back Off. Pretty strong, hey? You just got this.
This week.
This week, how do you feel?
Accomplished.
Accomplished. You got your picture on the back, Author Academy Elite. This is a deep, deep journey for you.
It's a very deep journey.
It's a lot of pain in here,
Lots of pain.
but lots of hope as well.
Tremendous amount of hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how important is this for you in building your business?
Well, this is just the building block.
Okay.
Even though as an author you think when you finish your book you can have a sigh of relief, it's like it's just the beginning. Because I poured my heart and my soul. I have 4 children that live in heaven, and the R-I-S-E is their initial, Randall, Isaac, Stephen, and Ephraim. So this is my memorial to leave on earth for my children.
Wow.
But it's just a building block because there are so many other people out there who've gone through what I've gone through that need what I was able to put on paper. And most important, there are people who don't know they can hold their children again. And that's the purpose of this book.
Fantastic. Let's give her a hand. All right. Now, I'm going to take that book. I'm going to do some promotion here. Look, Amazon's not dumb. Amazon even knows that they should be giving away portions of this. Is this true? Has anyone ever been on Amazon before? What do? They give you a look inside. You know how big their sales increased when they gave people the ability to do a free sample? You see what I'm saying? By the way, I'd love for the people online to say where they're from. If you guys don't mind, go ahead and type in where you're from. I always look afterwards who we have joining us. But that's an example of Amazon as a business model saying, we are going to give people a free sample. We're going to give them a peek inside. We call this what? The what's sausage strategy. Anybody?
Jimmy Dean.
The Jimmy Dean sausage strategy. I know this is repeat for some of you, but this is the model. Where you don't want sausage, you're not even thinking about sausage. You go to Costco, you go to Sam's Club, nice person. They're giving away Jimmy Dean sausage in a free sample. It's on sale, it's 2 for 1 that day. You walk away with it in your cart. Anyone here ever test drive a vehicle? That's a free, I mean, think about that. You hand them a piece of plastic and they give you $50,000 and say, go have fun. I mean, is that a weird economy we live in? That's kind of weird. Isn't that weird? Why? In fact, sometimes they bribe you. They say, if you come into the dealership and test drive a vehicle, we'll give you a $50 gift card. What do they know? Anybody? What do they know?
They're going to sell some cars.
They're going to sell some cars. They're going to raise your awareness. Check it out. Raise their awareness. Do you have any processes in your business as an author, coach, speaker, or entrepreneur that raises people's awareness for free about their needs, about the product and services that you offer? Jeff, you're saying yes? Do you have something like that? By the way, Jeff, come on up. I don't think I've ever brought you up. I've never brought Jeff up. Come on up. Come on up. Now, Jeff, you remember when I spoke at that men's retreat back in 2015?
Yes.
2015, you were in transition back then.
Yes, I was.
But today, you have a website business.
I do.
And how many people saw Lisa's website? Anybody see Lisa's website that he just did? Fantastic. Where can we find Lisa's website?
LisaMoser.com.
LisaMoser.com, MOSER.com. That's one example. What do you do in your business to give people a free taste? What do you do, like a free consultation, or what do you do?
So one of the biggest challenges people come to me with is just basic web design. How do I do a website design? So I created an ebook, which to this day is my #1 most downloaded.
Wow.
ebook. And I've gotten a lot of leads from that.
So a free ebook about why they need a website?
Yeah, why and how to strategize around it, and what to think through before they actually spend the money to do it.
Okay.
So it provides a lot of value there, so that when they go and start talking to potential web designers, they at least know the right questions to ask.
Is he scarcity minded or abundant minded? Do you see how some people would be desperately scared to give away secrets in an ebook? Does this make sense? If your bottom line isn't doing well at the end of the month, my thought is the first strategy I would tell you is give away more. Okay? Thanks, Jeff, by the way. Mark Henson. Let's give it that name. You guys know Mark Henson of SparkSpace? I've used this analogy before, but what does SparkSpace do when they need some rooms to be booked? They have a free day. It's called a free Friday, a study day, and they bring people into the physical location of SparkSpace. By the way, Mark Henson is going to be our guest speaker next month, and he's going to be talking about how to find your ordinary superpower. Okay? What's your website, by the way, Jeff?
Sync3.com.
SYNC
THREE.com.
Sync3.com. So again, smart moves in business if you're not doing well to give things away, okay? And there's a way to do it without sounding desperate. Mark doesn't say, hey, our business is down, we're doing a free Friday, come in. No, he says, you know what? We're gonna take care of everything for you, drinks, snacks, be our guest. It's normally $85 a day, and he gives that away for everybody, you know? So he walks away with appointment after appointment booked, where people come in and they say, you know, we should bring our staff here. Look at these hats, it's so fun, you know, all these details. So what's the balance? That's what we're talking about today. This is the Igniting Souls Fellowship. I knew Glenn back when I was a pastor. I remember those days.
It wasn't that long.
It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. But you brought me in to speak to your church when I published The Journey Toward Relevance, which was released in 2004. And I had more hair then. A little bit more, not much more. But Glenn brought me in. But we've been doing these things, because here's the confession. I was scared to leave my day job. Can I be real honest for a moment? I was scared to leave my day job. I mean, you might read things about, oh, you know, just go in and tell your job you're done, and, you know, go to the beach and grab your laptop and start a business. I was scared, and my wife scared me, okay? Because she's like, we have 3 kids, we have health insurance, we have, you know, mortgage, we have all these things, and you're going to go start your dream, right? Right? I mean, she's a truth teller. Some women are like, honey, you can fly off the roof, go for it, jump, you know? My wife was like, let's make sure this is going to work. So what I did, I mean, you know, God's in control. He hooked me up with the DEC, the Dublin Entrepreneurial Center, where I'm here today. But I don't know what made me think of this, but I just thought, I'm going to start doing free seminars. I'm going to start doing free seminars. And at the very end, I'll share that if they liked it, there's more that they can engage with. Pete and Pat, I think you first came to me because I gave you a free ticket to one of my events.
Yes.
You guys have been amazing. We call them the Igniting Souls Tribe Grandpa and Grandma, okay? But, you know, whatever. Free got them in the door, but they've invested many years in the tribe through many programs. In fact, let's bring Pat and Erica up. Pat and Erica, come on up. How am I going to do that? Renee, can you watch the camera? Come on up, ladies. I want to highlight them for a moment because they're a model of the strategy that I'm going to teach here in a moment. You ladies have you're certified on your secret name. So that's another thing. Authors, if you write a book, certify people. Because you don't want to travel all over the world every single day. So what I've done is every book that I've written, the last 4 books, I actually have a certification where I certify coaches, speakers, and trainers so they can go teach it. They keep 100% of their profits, but they join the team for a fee. So you ladies said that you want to do a Your Secret Name class, your first ever. When was that? March?
Yes,
Okay.
the end of March.
And did you just say, here's your credit card, come on in? What did you guys do first?
What we did was to set up one-time free. And not only that, but we had different ways of payment.
Okay.
So they could, if they got a certain amount of money, if they paid it all at one time. But if that actually, we gave them $25 off.
Okay.
Then we said, if you bring 3 people, you get yours free.
Wow.
Then we said, because we wanted, this is our first time out,
Yeah.
so we wanted to be sure to get as many as we could. So we said, if you can't afford the total price, you can pay half of it one month, half of it the next month.
Okay.
So that's how we covered the
Yeah.
cost.
And it's a 5-week program on ladies, in
It
your
was
case.
ladies, yes.
Ladies discovering who God truly created them to be. Their secret name.
And we didn't know any of these ladies, by the way.
And you just had your last night,
Well,
2 nights ago.
The last Tuesday, it was so successful that we've literally built a tribe.
Awesome.
Because these people started as victims and they had good reason. They gave their story and they had good reason. But in 5 weeks, they walked out of there victorious with the tools that whatever circumstance hit them, they can be victorious in
Awesome.
them. So we celebrated last Tuesday night together,
Last Tuesday.
just out for dinner.
Okay, awesome. Do you guys think that sounds pretty cool? Pretty cool, hey? And Erica, what's the biggest takeaway you learned from leading 5 weeks for ladies to discover their secret name?
Well, first I do like to say each lady found their secret name.
Very cool.
And so they actually shared that at
Okay.
the meeting.
Fantastic.
Our last meeting. Probably the greatest takeaway is life's not about me, it's about giving your story and helping other women.
Awesome.
And to see that result of you sharing your own story and then having that to help others
Yeah.
and see the result of,
Very
wow,
cool.
my story helped them.
Very
That's
cool.
probably the greatest takeaway.
I love it, I love it. And age, who cares about age, right, Pat?
Right.
Age is all in your mind. So you're building your business at the age of
83.
83. She's building her business, she's writing her book. She's a rock
I
star.
have a big boom.
You have a big boon. A boon, if you don't know what that is, you're like, what is a big boon? It's from Elixir Project, my book. It's basically your, big dream, but yeah.
My big boon is that in 10 years I'll be 93, and by that time I will have influenced, and that means those women that were in that class,
Yeah.
who they influence, okay? But I will have influenced 100,000 souls to soar.
Awesome. Fantastic. Let's give him a hand. Awesome. Very good. Now, why do I bring them up? Because she's 83. Because, I went to a nursing home the other day to visit a guy named Pastor Ed. Took my kids there, and there was 70-year-olds. And these 70-year-olds were great. We talked to them, but they're not like Pat. They're not on fire, a lot of them. Those years are gone for them. So what I'm saying today is whatever your excuse is, age, education, I didn't have education in business or marketing. They don't teach you that as a pastor, okay? I knew how to tell Bible stories, all right? So today we have a global business. We have 300 authors. We have a publishing company. We have all these things, and I didn't know how to do it. I just kept saying yes to the next best step. Okay? Are you saying yes in your life to the next best step? If the answer is no, I would say God doesn't owe you an additional step. Think about that. If God's given you the next best step and you're like, well, that's a fine step, but what's the step after that? And the step after that? I want to know the 85th step before I take the first one, then I might do it. It's not how it works. It's just like if you go to a bank and say, I have this check, I want the money. What are they going to say to you first about the check? They're going to say, sign the back, endorse it. Some of you have not endorsed the check, and you're saying, pay me. Pay me, God, and pay me, universe. I want what is mine, but you haven't taken the next best step. We've been doing these now for 5 years. The Igniting Souls Fellowship. Our goal is to ignite 1 million souls by 2020. And I want to encourage you too. Where are people from today? Who do we have with us?
Arkansas, Texas, Mississippi.
Fantastic. All places I want to go. All right? Cool, cool. So we got a lot of people. Thanks for sharing it. That helps spread the word. My name is Kary Oberbrunner. I'm the Chief Igniter. Here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to teach you the dangers of using free too little. You can actually use free too little in your business and suffer as a result. There are dangers of using free too much. There's dangers of using free too much. This might offend some people, but I don't say yes to brain-picking lunches. I just don't. I don't say yes when I get emails about, hey, you know, I heard about you, can I pick your brain? You know where I ask them to come? Where do I ask them to come? To the fellowship. You need basically a venue to vet people. Okay, you need a venue to vet people where they can come and they can try before they buy and experience you without you saying yes to 25 lunches. If you're an entrepreneur and you say yes to 25 lunches of brain picking or networking or business building, I would argue that you have no way to determine if that was a success or not. Because you have no idea if that brain picking lunch is going to prove profitable for them and you, or you have no idea if it was effective. So you can use free too much. You can actually use free too much. And then I'm going to give you a 4-step framework today for using free just right. So I'm going to give you my 4-step framework, and it works. How many of you have seen, how many of you who are part of the tribe have seen tons of authors join the tribe in the last 2 weeks? Anybody? Okay. All right. I believe I'm qualified to talk on this, okay? Our author program is not cheap. It's an investment. It's $5,000, and we had 20-some people join in the last 2 weeks. So the stuff I'm teaching you today works. It works. The more your investment is financially, the more touches you need. Let me say that again. If you have a high-ticket item, don't expect to do a webinar and be done with it and say, well, gee, no one bought my $10,000 program. Why is that? Well, that's because on your first date, you asked if they wanted to have a family with you. Okay? It's a weird analogy, but that's what you did. You know, you didn't just date. You said, like, hey, do you want to build a home together? You cannot do that. There's a 4-step framework that works where you don't come off salesy, you don't come off spammy, the people thank you. Do you think along the way in the last 2 weeks, do you think at least 1 or 2 people were offended that our author program actually costs money? What do you think?
Yeah.
Sure. There was one guy who's like, what? This isn't free? Okay? And again, why? And we give them all the profits. We actually hire designers. We hire distribution. We hire all these things. But he was mad that it wasn't free. You will have people who don't understand you with what I teach today. And you need to be okay with that. Some of us are not okay when one person doesn't get us. Okay? My favorite teacher, he lived about 2,000 years ago. A lot of people didn't get him, okay? And he was okay with it. I used to not be okay if people didn't get me. I used to actually run to those people and try to prove myself so that I could feel validated and understood. Does this make sense? Is this hitting home with anybody? Does anybody like, oh, you know, I can relate, right? So when people were not okay with me, I felt like, you know, the old Kary would have found out that guy that Daphne interviewed who didn't think it was nice that our program was free, and the old Kary would have called him up and apologized, you know, and had like, you know, flew to his city and, you know, made sure he was okay. I'm making this up, but, you know, but that's how we are. When we need to realize that if people don't get you, that's actually a good thing. Why? What do you have if people don't get you? clarity. If people don't get you, not because you're not confusing. If you're confusing and people don't get you, that's one thing. But if people don't get you because you're clear, that's actually a really good sign. That's a really good sign. Do you think Harvard is clear about who they reject? Yeah, right? Exactly. Check it out. I'm going to steal a quote. We're talking today about free. And some people are like, ooh, I don't like to talk about money. I don't like to talk about free or charging. I remember when I was trying to go pro years before. This would have probably been 2005. I remember my friend Brian Rance. I don't know why I'm telling this story. Do you remember Brian Rance? Jack Rance's son? Remember him? Yeah. So Brian Rance told me, if you're going to start coaching, you need to actually name your price. He was like, what's your price? And I was at a dinner with him, just him and I, not even the waitress, and I couldn't even name a price. I was that uncomfortable naming a price for anything that I did. Do you think I'm going to have a problem when I go out in the world, not with a friend, and start naming a price? Do you think I'm going to? Here's what I want to challenge you with. Some of us have a mindset that it's wrong to name a price. And that has much more to do about our own self-image than it does about the other person, okay? The ladies talked about your secret name. Your secret name talks about how we all have a self-image set point, which is a thermostat, which says that we're only comfortable with people treating us at a certain level. Some of us are not comfortable with people treating us as a 10 because it makes us feel insecure. We don't feel like we are a 10 and we run from that. So we're actually seeking out people to treat us like 2s and 3s because at least we're comfortable. Does this make sense? This is why certain people choose out mates that, make them feel less because now they're comfortable. And we would rather be comfortable than treated even right. So what I had to do, I'm the guy who used to self-injure. I'm the guy who had an addiction to self-injury. You think I had low self-esteem? Yeah. So if that was me then and this is me here today, how did that happen? I had to reset my self-image set point. And I had to process a lot of things. It's in your secret name. It's a book that I wrote. But here's the point. God says, wherever your treasure is, so is your heart. If you give away everything in your business for free, will you have people's hearts? According to that quote, if you give away everything for free in your business, will you have people's hearts? No. No. Is that a weird thought? You mean by me giving away everything for free, I'm actually hindering people's growth. I'm actually hindering their transformation because my quote is this: commitment follows cash. Amen. All right, we got a churchgoer here, right? Commitment follows cash. When I first started the business, this would have been when Fran came to our first event, but I actually gave away most of the tickets for free. When it was bad weather that day, guess who didn't show? The people who got free tickets or the people who paid for their tickets? Free. The people who got free tickets, because there was a little sprinkling in Ohio, I'm from Wisconsin, come on now, they didn't show. Think about that. Free ticket, little snow, not showing. The people who paid said, yeah, I'm going to be there. These people couldn't even hear the message, much less respond to the invitation. Does that make sense? I tell this story about me at a coffee shop. I had already drank my latte, right? I'm weak. It was a decaf latte, okay, with almond milk. It was pretty weak, okay? It's not a manly drink. But the barista says, I just made an espresso, and the person drove away. Does anybody want the espresso? It's free. I heard the word free. I was like, yep. I'll take the espresso. It sat there during my whole coaching session, and I'm like, I don't even like caffeine that much. It's sitting there. Where did I put it? Garbage. In the garbage. Do you think if I would have paid $2 or $5 for it, I would have thrown it away? I would have sucked it back even though I didn't even want it. I would have drank it. See, there's something weird about this that says that if we exchange something that's valuable to us, we will put more effort and energy. And I would argue that if you're an author, a coach, or a speaker who's not getting good results from your clients, maybe your fees are too low. Ouch. What do you think about that? You think so? You drove all the way from Kentucky today as an author. We had people drive 8 hours one time to come to an Igniting Souls fellowship. And we can't have people in Hilliard drive 20 minutes, okay? And they got hotels. Why? Because they were an author. And they're like, I am coming and I'm going to invest and grow and learn. And these people are on fire. Last year at the conference, remember the Igniting Souls conference? Where did people come from, those of you who were there? England? Australia?
Canada.
Israel? Scotland? Canada? Yeah, those Canadians, right? I like those Canadians. What? Dublin? So we had people book hotel rooms and flights because they are invested. These are the same people who Scott Perkins is at Barnes & Noble in Florida for his own book signing, I think this week. You're going back to your second book signing in Pickerington at Barnes & Noble. They brought it back and said, we're buying 50 copies more for Mother's Day. When you invest financially, commitment follows. iTunes lets you sample an excerpt. Think about this, guys. If iTunes, Amazon, and movie producers are using free, maybe we should, okay? iTunes lets you sample a song via an excerpt. Has anyone done that and then bought a song? Has anyone done that and not bought a song? Yeah, I've done that. Like, oh, I thought that song was good. Oh, it's so bad, right? They had one good lyric in it. So think about that. You will actually, check it out, lose some business with free. But guess what? If the person bought the song and didn't like it, then calls up customer support, complains that they didn't like the song, or word of mouth says, yeah, I hate that group, I hate iTunes, I can't believe. What you actually do is you're actually protecting your business by allowing people free. Does this make sense? It's not just, oh, we turned away a potential song user or a movie preview. Some people, in fact, this is what our family does. We're funny, okay? We saw a movie the other day, and there's the previews. This is pretty funny, okay? You got an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, my wife and me. And every movie that preview comes up, we all turn at each other and we go, this, or this. And it's funny when my 7-year-old's like, you know? It's a funny image. But we rate the previews. I'm sure they gain business from our family because of previews, but they sure lose money too. But that's the point. And Amazon as well. Anyone know about NatureBox? And we're going to start sharing a few links here. I'm going to give you guys a link, okay? I'm going to give you a link if you want. Don't feel obligated to use this link. My wife and I used a link one time where we got $20 free in snacks because she saw it, I don't know, on the internet. And we thought, you know what, NatureBox, good snacks, it comes to your door, $20 free, why not? So we buy it, and now we are subscribers, right? Because they have my California dried peaches that taste really good. No sugar added, whatever. The point is this, a lot of businesses today build themselves around, we'll take a $20 hit because we think that we're so good that you'll like it. Do you think some people choose not to subscribe? Yeah. Do you think they gain a lot of subscribers this way? Absolutely. All right, here's another one. Square, right? Square is doing this right now where let's create your account for free. We'll mail you this. By the way, if you want to buy books at the end, Pete's going to have my Square. We use Square for everything. Do you realize that I started this business so long ago that I had to go to a bank where I had to sign this form and they were going to hand me a card reader like this big with a account, and you had to like commit to 3 years of it, and the thing had a down payment They mail you this for free today. And you have a smartphone, you pop that thing in, and anywhere, you know, coaching clients, swipe, books, swipe, there it goes. Question?
No, I just signed up with Square this week, and this week they're giving you your first $1,000 free.
First $1,000 free. There you go. And I think we got a link. Excellent, excellent. That's true, that's true. It's free. There you go. Here's free. Here's the 4-step framework. You guys ready? Hey, Kaya. Ready? F stands for filter. You know I got to make everything spell here. Okay, it's going to spell free. So I'm going to take away the big surprise. All right, the first one's F, filter. And we'll do some Q&A here in a moment too. Free allows you to decide who should you invest in. You guys remember Amy Schmidauer from the conference, right? By the way, super cool story. I mean, super cool story. One of our Author Academy Elite authors was paid by Tony Robbins to teach his business mastery class, her stuff. I mean, pretty cool, you know? But Amy was talking to me this week, and she was saying, I asked her, what are you so happy about your book? What are some good things? What are some bad things? She said, Kary, I love the fact that I wrote a book for a reason I didn't even see coming. I said, tell me about it. What are you talking about? She says, in the past, when I would get a call from a potential client to hire me to help them with their video in the business, vlogging, V-L-O-G-I-N-G, right? Something like that, whatever. Spell check me. But she says, I used to have to spend a lot of time saying, are they right? Can they afford me? Do they really need me? You know, do they really need my expertise? Or, you know, should I send this person away? She says, now, you know what my first word is? What do you think it is? She says, read the book, and then we'll chat. So for her as an author, she uses the word free, and sometimes she gives away these copies. Other times she says, you know, go on Amazon and buy it. But she uses a $15 paperback, $30 hardcover to filter whether that client is worthy of her time and their time. And she loves it. She calls it a velvet rope, and it's a vetting process where free becomes a vetting process. I've actually had people that have asked to meet with me, and again, it's not that, ooh, I'm so busy. I have 3 kids, okay? I got 3 kids under the age of 12. I got a fantastic wife. I can't say yes to everything. I just can't. Otherwise, I won't have a marriage and a family, right? So for me, I always use vetting, and there were times in the past where someone needed something. I really wanted to help them. I knew the first half hour of our talk we would spend rehashing a book principle anyway. So I just invited them, you know what, I'd love to meet with you, and I believe in your charity, you know, a lot of times nonprofits, I believe in your charity, but here's what I want you to do. Read this article and respond back to me with a paragraph about your thoughts. Then I'll know that when we sit down and talk, we can have a higher level conversation. Do you think a lot of people read that paragraph? What do you think? No. Someone's not even willing to read a paragraph for 10 minutes and respond back with a few sentences. Do you think I should bend over backwards to meet with them? No. No. You should set up free qualifiers so that when you get in front of people eyeball to eyeball, they are highly qualified leads, and let's face it, hungry people that you want to work with. Pete, you were my old college professor. Weren't there some college professors that didn't like freshmen? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, this would kind of be what? An inside joke where like, I don't want to work with the freshmen. You know, I only want to work with the advanced people, right? Why would that be a thing people would say?
I think that those who were uncomfortable working with new students, freshmen,
Okay.
Felt that they were above that level.
Okay.
And that they had much more to give than a freshman would ever want.
Okay.
You know, and that kind of thing. And they forgot that they were there themselves one time.
All right, and that's why Pete's a good professor, right? Because you can hear him saying, you know, that he's got a heart for freshmen too. Yeah, there's certain professors that will only take higher qualified people because they think that they're maybe even more ready for it, perhaps. Maybe the student's more ready for it, those types of things too. Excellent. Any questions, Erica? Are we doing well? Are we good?
Good.
Okay, awesome. Who should I invest in? This is a great point. The next one, repurpose. I will take certain gigs for free. I mean, come on now, right? I speak for free certain places, but here's what I'm always thinking. Where can I repurpose this content? Where can I repurpose this content? Renee, weren't you the one who told me to live stream the first time? Okay, I owe you my life now, right? But in the past, when people came to me with the idea that we should live stream this, I thought, oh no, we can't do that. Because I was clueless, right? I was dumb. And like a lot of good ideas, people need to keep telling me that, right? And finally I get it. But when we started live streaming this, it was fantastic. Because people began sharing this. People in our tribe who are overseas feel connected. There's all kinds of things that have happened for this. But one thing I do, this was built out of a podcast. So think about this. Free podcast a few weeks ago. Rick's a podcaster. By the way, I just saw Trevinia. You had Trevinia on your show.
Oh yeah, she's phenomenal.
Good job. Joel's a podcaster. Anybody else a podcaster in the house? All right. So I got a free podcast, and let me have a little confession with you guys. I hate the podcast. Now hold on, let me qualify. I love talking to the listeners. I love that part. I absolutely love that part. I feel like it's a pulpit, you know? I feel like we're chatting. I love the listeners. But the whole getting a blog page, pixeling it, writing out the show notes, and I know I could hire some of that out. I know that. But I also don't know what I'm going to say till I start speaking. So, you know, part of this is my own fault, right? But here's the point. Like, it's now a fellowship talk. There are components of it that will one day be turned into a book. There are components of it that will show up on an interview that I do with TV or radio. Here's the point. I always view my content as pre-purpose. Let me say that again. Pre-purpose your content, not repurpose. Repurpose is, oh, I did that thing. How can I take that and make it applicable? What I think is how can I pre-purpose as I project in the future? So I used to do this, Glenn, as a pastor. Don't tell Rick this, okay? I would say, what book am I working on next? Then I would try to slip in my vote that we preach a sermon series on identity so that I could be working on my book while I'm doing sermon research. Don't tell him I said that, okay? But you see what I'm saying? Pre-purpose your content. What talk do you have that you could change a little bit and use it in multiple elements, right? Joel, you speak a lot. I'm sure you've taken some podcast cons. Come on up, Joel. Come on. Let's give Joel a hand. Joel looks like Richard Gere. Let's give him a hand. Richard Gere, man. A younger Richard Gere, because I'm sure now he's like, you know, much older.
I have gotten the slightly overweight Richard Gere when I was 25 pounds heavier.
Okay.
That's a story for another day.
Okay, story for another day. But, you know, I've seen you speak, I've seen you coach. You have a program where you help, you know, authors get media. We promote that. Have you ever done pre-purposing?
Yes.
Is it smarter? I mean, you have kids too.
Yes.
So you have 2 kids?
Yes.
Why is the pre-purposing so important? You might even say yes to a free event just because you know you're going to be using it later, or you can record it or something like that.
One, it removes a lot of stress and anxiety. It removes that overwhelmed feeling. So instead of feeling like you've got to create the wheel for all of these different things, you create it once, and then you think through what you're teaching is get the ad, get the blog, get the podcast, and then you can just use it in a variety of different ways. Yeah. And when you're using it that way, one message and all those different channels, just the awareness and the brand just rises.
Don't you feel like you know it better too, and you own it better, and more illustrations come? And
even talking, you know, on some coaching calls, I'm like, that's a great podcast, or that's going to be a blog. Then I think, no, that's the message.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get it out on the podcast, get it out on a blog post.
Sure. All right, is this making sense? Awesome. You guys getting clues? Making sense for you? Yeah. Awesome. E, expand. Will this expand my influence? I don't think it's selfish or wrong if someone asks you to do a free thing for you to think and ask the question, you know what? How many people are going to be in the room? I don't think that's a bad question. In fact, a lot of colleagues of mine that I hang with, we talk about that. We talk about how that's often a question on a speaker contact field. How many people are going to be in the room? Not that the size says, ooh, there's 10,000 people, so I'm coming for sure if it's free. But you have to know at the end of the day, influence is restricted in some ways to your time. That's why I love books. I can go to sleep at night and I can create a passive impact business. You don't hear people talk about that. In fact, it's going to be my book someday. Don't steal it, all right? But how you can create a passive impact business. When I can go to sleep at night, this is sit down with Kary and brain pick. That's what a book is. A book is your best brain picking session ever, so a series of them, and you can hand it to someone that you might not ever, they might not ever be able to afford your services. They might not ever be able to meet you. They might be in a foreign country, but you can give that to them and still change their life. You see what I'm saying? So I have taken events before that have expanded my influence, and I knew it was going to be free. I think we were talking before, and then we'll go to Pete. I'm going to be a camp counselor next week at my son's 5th grade over and out thing, right? And sleep in a sleeping bag on a plastic mattress. It's going to be fun, all right? But one of the things I'm doing, I'm already there. They asked if I would speak to the kids. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled. I'm going to take the Captain Sully story. I'm going to take this tea bag illustration. That's the other cool thing. When I get asked to speak, I only need like 3 minutes notice, okay? Because I have so much content that I just say, oh, I'll take that from there, I'll take that from there. The tea bag illustration will be a good closure. I'll buy tea bags on Amazon. Each kid will get a tea bag and take it home, and they'll think it's cool, maybe not, who knows. But you build the talk that way, and you can do that very effectively. Pete.
With reference to expanding your audience and knowing how many people you're going to have, you have to be able to change what you're presenting on the basis of the number of people who are there.
That's
but you're
good.
Still saying the same thing.
That's good. Yeah.
You work with 5 people with the same material that you work with 100, but you present it differently.
I love it. Very true. Very true. These are like puzzle pieces, and you build it based on the situation. Engage. This is something that I did not learn for years, and that's why I kept my day job. All right? Folks, if you are in business, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an author, speaker, coach, you need to constantly say, not so your pocketbook gets bigger, but think about it. You don't want at the end of the day to say, hope you enjoyed the talk today. I'll see you in the afterlife, right? Yet that's what I was treating people as, ooh, I just spoke to these college kids. I hope they liked it. I hope they have a good life. What's with that? That's not caring for these people. You have a plan and a path for these people. It could be that the college kids can only afford your softcover book at the end. It could be that you have what's called a lead magnet. If you're not familiar in the business world, a lead magnet is what Jeff said, a free ebook that gets them in to your funnel. That's a salesy way to say it. Here's a relational way to say it. Don't stop the relationship when you step off the stage, okay? For all the touchy-feely people, Joel, that's tweetable. Can you tweet that? I forget what I just said, but that happens a lot. I'll say something, and I'm like, that's a good tweet. So whatever I just said, Joel, what did I say? Do you remember?
Don't stop the relationship once you step off the stage.
Excellent. Okay, that's good. So you put that in, and you realize that you need a pep. Today at the end, no secret, I'm going to say, if you like today, here's some steps, and they're coming. I don't view that as wrong, as salesy, and here's why. If you give people value first, and then ask them to go deeper, that is perfectly acceptable. Where we all feel defrauded when someone asks for a sale without giving first. That's when it feels icky. When someone knocks on your door, sorry, I'm sure you were just watching a movie or with your family at dinner. Do you want to buy the Olentangy, soap that's going to help our band? All right. True story. This is true, right? Look, I love Olentangy. That's why I pay taxes. Okay? But I love these kids. Here's the point. If I needed soap, and if the guy talked to me about, the fact that the soap works, and I'm already leaning in, then he's actually serving me. I'm like, dude, let me buy 5 cases. Where you feel obligated is when people haven't given first. Does this make sense? So you need to ask yourself, if you're offending people, if people are not responding to your offer, maybe you didn't give enough first. And it's not going to be good for everybody, okay? Questions before I keep going? Any questions before I keep going? Pat, speak real loud, yeah.
If that student had brought you a bottle of bar of soap and say, I'm going to give this to you free, and I'll be back on such and such a date,
right?
See if you'd like more.
Yeah.
Would you have bought it?
Yeah, and I'm not even saying I didn't buy it. Sometimes I buy it because I'm looking at the kid and I'm like, it's raining out. This kid needs help. Here you go, man. Do I even use the product? So you don't even, now you gave out of charity. You didn't earn a customer because it wasn't relevant to you. So yeah, if there's people who have products that I need, absolutely.
Would you teach him to do the giving?
The giving first?
And going back?
Yeah, I mean, my kids, they're already on Amazon, right? They already have products for sale on Amazon, not because they wanted to or didn't want to. They had a paper that they wrote on Henry Ford. I'm like, yeah, you want to turn this into an ebook? Turn it into an ebook. I think you read it and reviewed it. So I teach my kids this as well. Yeah, that selling is serving. Selling is serving. In fact, we just did this the other day. This was great. Not that I always think about these things, but we went to Menards. And we had one service person who was fantastic. Here's where you get your carts. I'll show you where they are. Here's this other thing. And we bought mulch. Well, I didn't buy enough. So we went back and some other person was serving us. And, this has nothing to do with gender, but this particular woman was not helpful. And she didn't want to be there. You could tell she didn't want to be there. And I said, Keegan, do you think she was a good service person? He's like, no. And we talked about that. So again, teachable points, absolutely. Yeah. And I've had people upsell me, and I bought from them just because it was a good upsell, even though I didn't want it, We're at a restaurant, and the person's like, oh, do you want that or that? And I'm like, and the kids will be like, that was an upsell. And I'm like, there you go. There you go. All right? So I'm going to give you some really cool tips. If you're a speaker, if you're a coach, and if you're an author, I'm going to give you 3 steps for each one. How you can use free. Would that be helpful?
Yes. Yeah.
How's the online world going? Still there? Still hanging out? Awesome. You guys feel free to ask questions. Feel free to share as well. I hope this is helpful for you. Speakers can use free a speaker's highlight reel. Brian's here. Brian wants speaking. Come on up, Brian. All right, come on. How many of you guys online know Brian? Say, hey, Brian, all right? All right. So Brian,
hi.
Hey, Brian's working on his book.
I am.
You look like you're more in shape, too.
I'm trying to get healthier, trying to run,
you look good,
all
man.
those things. Yeah.
You look good. All
Well,
right.
thank you.
All right,
I
no
appreciate
worries,
it.
no worries. So, what was I even saying, Brian?
I don't know. You're saying I look good.
Speaker's real. You look so good, my whole thoughts.
Right. Yeah, I have that
Speaker's
effect
real.
on people.
Speaker's real.
Right.
So you want to be a speaker, and I told you to consider a speaker's reel.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting that together.
Yeah.
Was that a fun process?
Absolutely. It's been fun. It's been hard, too, because I had to learn a lot to go along that way. I've been trial and error.
Yeah.
I've had failures. I've had, mistakes along the way. I put up some stuff that I probably shouldn't have just because it didn't look good.
Yeah.
But
have you gotten responses at all?
Absolutely.
Interesting. Interesting. And one thing I like about Brian, there's some people who you got to guard what you say. Brian actually wants me to tell him the truth all the time. So I'm very hard on Brian because he invites it. But you remember the other day, you thought it was a speaker's reel, and what I actually said is, Brian, you did a sample.
Yeah.
Because a highlight reel is different. A speaker's reel is different. A speaker's reel is like the Cavs game in 30 seconds. And you have Kary shooting a three-point and LeBron doing a jam. And I mean, it is fast and the music's fast, and it is a highlight reel. What Brian did is he did a sample, and it was a 2-minute excerpt, 1-minute excerpt of a talk, but you're not going to have the same effect because I don't care who you are, the best speaker in the world. A 2-minute sample, unless you're telling continual jokes, it's really tough to get the same effect as a highlight reel. Does that make sense? Because I mean, nobody's on for 2 minutes like very few people are. So you've gotten good responses.
Yeah.
You've gotten some feedback.
Yeah, I mean, the feedback's been good. I mean, a lot of it's been helping me, trying to coach me, because I have a lot of different people that are investing in me, and I'm taking it all in, trying to make sure I understand where to go with what, because some people I like to listen to more than other people.
There you go.
Obviously, I listen to you. Have been for 4 years, so that's been great.
Yeah.
But so it's been great.
But I saw you speak to a group of how many people the other day? That Ohio thing.
Oh, that was probably 50 people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the thing about Brian is he's continually speaking, whether he gets paid. He even, because he doesn't have his own book out yet, he spoke at an event and signed my books and sold them. All right? Smart man.
Wrong. That's wrong.
I mean, he got paid for
selling my own book.
He got paid for them, but he's working on his own book. But what I love about you, Brian, is Brian is just putting it out there. And you did the whole, I'm going to highlight you in a second about the complimentary coaching. Because that's how he built some of his early coaching business, was giving away free coaching. So we're going to talk about that.
Now, if I can say this, I'm putting a little plug. I am speaking again next week, next Thursday the 18th.
Okay.
And I heard it's cancer research, but this is cancer support, the cancer support community on Old Henderson Road here in Columbus.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Well, Les
it's open
Brown,
to the public.
Les Brown says speakers speak. And Les Brown would speak even if it was at a rescue mission, because speakers speak, and he just wanted to keep getting good and honing his craft.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Brian.
Yep.
All right, take care. Next one. Speakers can use this free, a podcast. Let me tell you this. Nobody wants to go first. If you've been on a podcast, even if it's a small podcast, we call this the ladder up strategy. You actually go to the next bigger podcast, and I teach all my authors this in Author Academy Elite. I tell you how to pitch it and how to make it work. But you ladder up and you say, here's the podcast I was on last week. So you constantly, you get one gig. Who cares if you got paid for it or not? You did it free. I've told people to do this. Speak for free somewhere, hire a photographer or a friend, and have them shoot you on stage. I don't care if it's from the back of the room. I don't want it to the back of the room. I want a closer shots, you on stage speaking. Take a free speaking gig just to even get photos for the one that you're going to charge. Does this make sense? All right, next one. And here you are. You're here today. 5 years every single month. And, we've grown every single month in our business model. The room only holds so many people, but, once we listen to Renee, we've had, thousands of people online check these out as well. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's my first plug for you. If you are local, especially if you're local, ignitingsoulsconference.com. Yes, we do have people from Israel, Egypt, Australia, Scotland coming. It's over at the Quest on 71 in Polaris. You can commute. People online, I'd love to see you there. We are 3/4 full, and we haven't even publicly promoted it in a campaign yet. And so we will sell out just like last year, ignitingsoulsconference.com. Right now, tickets are early bird. So we've been pushing the author thing for a while now. In June, we're going to reveal the speakers and the schedule, but grab your ticket now if you want to come. Love to have you there. Again, lots of people coming from all over the world. It's fantastic. It's strictly business building. It's how to turn your book into a business, how to use vlogging in your business. I mean, it is fantastic stuff. Coaches, complimentary coaching. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. I have seen so many people do bad strategy online. For example, just started my coaching business. PM me if you're interested. What does PM mean, Sam? Private message me if you're interested. That's like saying, God, if you throw money down from the sky, I will hold out my hand. I will do that, God, just for you, if you do that. I mean, that's crazy. You don't say, started my coaching business, PM me if you're interested. It's just, no wonder why you don't have any clients. Seriously, no wonder why you don't have any clients. That's like saying, just got divorced. If anyone wants a date, message me. I mean, seriously, in the business world, that's what you are saying. Seriously, is that wrong? I just offend people? I don't know. I just say what comes in my head. Sometimes I don't say it. All right? So what I'd rather you do is what Brian did. Brian was on an author coaching call. I coached him how to do this. It was how to respectfully send out an email that was of value add to the person, but then at the end offered a complimentary coaching session. And Brian, you had paying clients from those. Some people didn't respond back. Some people met with you and didn't buy, and some people met with you and then bought. Correct? Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, this is the model how it works. So when people say, you know what, I don't have any coaching clients, how many complimentary coaching sessions have you given? Okay? And coaching is one of these things where you can't tell people what coaching is. You have to do coaching on them. And then 45 minutes in, you start saying, you know, how did this feel for you today? Well, it was fantastic. You know, I learned a ton about myself. Great. You know, I'm so glad this was good for you. Would you like to continue this relationship? I mean, again, you've given them 45 minutes. It doesn't feel odd, like PM me if you're interested, okay? 3 sessions of a free mastermind. A lot of our authors, you could do that. You could have a RISE course, and you give people the R. And you say, you know, after 3 weeks, on the 3rd week, how is this working? Are you finding help? Are you finding clarity? Would you like to go and do the ISE with me? Okay? This is normal, all right? That's what Pat and Erica did. I like that model. You guys did a free night, and that night had people step forward. How many people came to the free night?
I think there were 8.
There were 8, and how many people signed up?
2 had already taken it from you, but
Okay.
they came to our free night.
Love it.
And then 1 that had taken it from you took it from us again.
Love it.
And so the ones that we didn't know all took it.
All took it. So again, they got a room here, and they said, here's what we do. I have an iceberg slide. You're welcome to steal it, but it says, it's an iceberg, and it says today's event, and it's pointing to the tip, and then it says additional process, and then it's pointing to what's under the iceberg, and then it has event over here and process over here, and it says events are a calendar issue, processes change people. Events motivate, processes mature. And it goes the difference about, hey, you came to an event tonight, and good for you, but I cannot help you deeper unless you go through a process. And in the beginning, you say, so no one thinks it's bait and switch, one of the first things you say is, you know what, I'm thrilled to be here today. I'm going to teach you some fantastic principles that have changed my life. And because we don't have more than 60 minutes, at the very end, if this resonates with you, I'm going to talk about a process if you'd like to go deeper. You tell people, and then you can even say, fair enough. And now they're agreeing with you. They're agreeing that this is coming later on. And it doesn't feel spammy or salesy. Cool? Anyone learning something? Anybody? Okay. Just Pete. Do a lunch and learn. Do a lunch and learn. A lunch and learn is a great corporate venue where you talk to the HR person, you talk to the person. How many of you are certified either on your secret name, deeper path, or dream job? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Okay, so about half the room certified. You can easily go to a corporate gig and say, you know what, I'd love to talk about employee engagement and how to become a master in the art of living. And we've found that people who are engaged in their jobs actually produce higher outcome for your business. Would your business be interested in learning how to get more ROI out of your employees over lunch, no strings attached, me coming in free and teaching? A lot of businesses will say absolutely. And then you give 30 minutes of content, and the last 2 minutes, you say, I have a 2-minute survey. I'd like you to do this. Did today's information help you understand more about yourself and your role here at the company? Yes or no? Would teaching like this help you perform better at your job? Yes or no? Collect those, turn those in. You have them in your hand. You meet with the HR person after. You ask ahead of time, hey, can I talk with you for 5 minutes at the end? You sit down with them. You say, Julie, look at these forms. 100% or 90%, 95% of your people said they learn more about themselves and their job, and things like today would actually help them produce better at your job. What do you say that I come back for the next 5 weeks and lead a paid mastermind through this content? Okay? I mean, that's what you do. That's how it's done. Not PM me if you're interested on Facebook, okay? I like the combo of speaking free and then offering a coaching package at the end. I like that model. It's a good model. Speak for free, offer a coaching model at the end. Do you need that, Debbie?
Yes.
Take that picture. All right. Cool. Here's some of our authors. These are just the authors that we launched last October. This is only 10% of our authors, believe it or not. So it's fantastic, you know? I love it. When we promote for our next class, guess what we do? Do you think we do free? What do you think? Is the first step free?
Yes.
Yes. I have trained over 50,000 authors on how to write a book. 50,300 became clients. See that? You might say, well, 300 times 5,000, I'm not good at math, that's $1.5 million, and you know, you had to train 50,000 people for free. Aren't you scared that 50,000 people now have your information and they're ripping you off and stealing from you and blah, 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 blah? No. No, I look at Deborah, who has a book about her 4 kids that, you know, are now being memorialized in this book, and you have some launch parties coming up in Kentucky?
Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio.
Her business is now growing, and she's having an influence in a tri-state area, and the story of her kids is going out. And you changed in the process.
Absolutely.
You changed in the process. Look, there's one way to say it, I'm selling people. The other way is I'm serving people. You have to look in the mirror at yourself every day. You have to answer that for yourself. If you are not serving people, if you are scamming people, if you are salesy, then you know what? That will show. If you are giving and giving and giving, that will show. So you're the one who has to look in the mirror at the end of the day. So what did we do? We did a webinar, free webinar. 3 keys to publishing your book successfully. Then we did another webinar, how to get 50 or more Amazon reviews on one day. Another webinar. You know, I do webinars often, and I change, you know, some of the content, some of it stays the same. But we give and get. Who has to pay for the GoToWebinar seats? Anybody?
You did.
Who has to pay for the Facebook ads?
You did.
Who has to pay for the ebook design?
You did.
Who has to pay for the cover design, the interior design, the ISBNs? I mean, this is a business, okay? But we're giving away so much, and now you then penetrate the market and people say, oh, you're writing a book you should talk to, you know? And then we pay our affiliates. Like, you know, some of you in the room, we write you checks if you recommend a good author to us. We don't just publish anybody. We love to do that. But anyways, for people who missed the webinar, KaryOberbrunner.com/book. And if you ever know an author who's not part of the tribe, be an affiliate. You know, we love to pay people who are bringing us good people. But anyway, KaryOberbrunner.com/book. That's where people can get a free ebook, a free 90-minute teaching, all about how to be an author. There is no sales card at the end. They cannot click to buy and say, here's a credit card. What do? Application. With higher ticket items, you need an application, in my opinion. I don't want to publish everybody. Do you know some applications that we get? Can I say this out loud? I know this is being recorded. I shouldn't say this. I know I shouldn't say this. We had one lady who wanted to write a book to rocks and trees. Okay, that was her target market. I'm being serious. I don't know how many rocks and trees buy books. I just don't know, right? But you don't want to publish everybody, right? You don't want to publish everybody. So you need a filter, and the application allows you to then say, oh, would they be a good fit? Would we be a good fit? Can this work together? #1 episode of all times that we've ever recorded for the Igniting Souls podcast. How to make fast cash as a professional coach, kicking your coaching business into high gear overnight. That's built out of one of our students who said to me, Kary, should I take I think I got these facts right, I'll have to ask him, but should I either take, $8 an hour job because I'm not getting any coaching clients, or should I really invest in my coaching business? And I said, if I don't mention your name, can I lay into you very hard? And he said, go for it. So rather than do a brain-picking situation, I gave a podcast pretending that he was on the other line, and I laid into him, and I ripped them all up and down one side and down the other, but I gave him tips and tools, and he's on fire now. He's on fire, his coaching business is on fire, but here's the point. Free, guess what increased after I gave that podcast? What do you think increased? Our coaching teams. So more people said, I want to be a coach. I gave away some crazy good value for free on the podcast. Lots of secrets, tips, and tricks. If you want that episode, grab it. It's episode 66. But what happened? People started to say, we want to be a secret name coach. We want to be a deeper path coach. We want to train on Dream Job Coach. Erica's sharing these URLs right now. But here's the point. It grew. If your business is not growing, I would argue you're not giving away enough of your secrets for free. Here's the lie that a lot of us believe when we start out. But I only have 2 secrets. And if I give away my 2 secrets and they buy from me, I got nothing. And I get it. That's a legitimate fear that we all have. Who gave you the secrets in the beginning? God did. So if you think that you have 2 secrets and you're going to play those 2 secrets and hold on to those two secrets, you will die with 2 secrets. I had 1 secret when I first started, and I shared it with everybody. And it was the scary secret. It was your secret name. That's kind of what blew up the business, is when I actually went public with my self-injury story, stop pretending, stop hiding, stop lying, even just as a person. I can't share that ever. That's kind of what God and I had a battle with in our prayer time. And I said, I'm not sharing that secret. And he's like, well, that's fine. I'm not giving you any more. And we had, and we sat there for a while. And then finally I was like, fine, if it's going to help people, I'll take a risk. Do you think everyone loved that book? Do you think some people thought I was an idiot for that book? Yeah, not everyone's going to get you. All right? Here's how authors can use free. Most authors already use free. Amazon doesn't even give you the choice, but they give you a look inside feature. All right? Next, consider doing a free KDP Select campaign. There are pros and cons. I don't have time today to go into this. I actually teach this in my author program. But if you enroll in KDP Select, your ebook version, you can give it away free or do countdown Kindle deals. It's a whole business model that I teach our authors. I just don't have time today to talk about it. But that's a way that free can actually help. One of my friends did that, and his book, was downloaded 58,000 times in 3 days, and it got him a traditional publishing deal. That was in the early days. and it's not, you know, it can work. There's a way to do it, but all I'm saying is that you can use free as an author. Use an excerpt from your book. You see this all the time. Someone writes a book, they're in Inc. magazine, they're in Forbes, they're in whatever as an excerpt from the book. And then do an audiobook. Audiobook is the hottest platform for publishing currently. Runners, joggers, commuters. Why? Because you can do two things at the same time if they're not cognitive, okay? You can't listen to an audiobook and have a conversation with somebody, but you can listen to an audiobook, mow the lawn, drive, right? These types of things. Audiobook, again, we teach that system in our author program. We did this, you know, scary bald dude with the sun on his head. Elixir.CaryOberbrunner.com. When we gave away that book a few weeks ago, do you remember that? Spike in sales, spike in Elixir courses. What we basically do is we say it's free, hardcover, $30 version, and we just ask that people cover shipping and handling. And we have a lady in Tennessee who does this, who ships them out, so it doesn't take any of my time. And we include inside there what's called the hack attack. And the hack attack actually is a very cool color code that teaches you when you are going to be hacked, not with your computer or your phone, but your productivity, your dream. How do you know if your dream is getting hacked? And we have something called the hack attack that we include in every book. And we mail that to the people, and it's great. Totally works. I think, Erica, you're putting those links in there, but it works. And again, it's a way that people get the message better. Okay, so I'm going to do some Q&A. Any questions online that people have, any questions in-house that people have about how to use free, when to use it, anything about the framework, our business model, whatever. Yeah, Pat. And Pat, if I might repeat your question for the camera, okay?
I'm on an author academy lead, and I had given myself June as to when my manuscript
Right.
would be done. So between now and June, talking about the hack attack,
Yeah.
can you quickly say
Sure.
how I can evaluate?
Sure.
Not just say yes to it.
Okay, so you guys can't catch it? Her book is due in 18 days. Does that freak you out? All right, so her book is due in 18 days, and she wants to know how to not get hacked, okay? We teach this all in a 30-day course called the Elixir Project Experience, but let me give you a few tips, okay? What I would do, if you're I know you have grandkids. Can you give me the first name of one of your grandkids?
Jack.
Jack? Okay. So Jack is being held hostage. Now, I don't hang with me, okay? Jack is being held hostage in the UK, and in 18 days, if you don't come up with $10,000 and deliver it in person to the UK, you will never see Jack again, okay? Emotionally, do you understand the significance of this? Okay? So think about it. Your grandkid. You love your grandkid? Absolutely. You do anything for him, right?
Right.
All right. Let's imagine this is happening, okay? Hey, Pat, do you want to go out for breakfast with Kelly and I tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Hey, Pat, your favorite show's on Netflix. Do you want to go watch it? Hey, Pat, you should really exercise today and do your walk. You, okay. Hey, Pat, you could sleep in and, you know, get another hour of sleep, or you could get up.
No, I won't say that.
See, here's my point. We don't elevate the priority of something until we value it. See what I'm saying? Does Pat want to do her book? Yes. But prior to me framing it, Pat also wants to hang out with her girlfriends. She wants to go to church. Like, if your life depended on it, you're going to see Jack. what I do is I do this little trick in the short term. You cannot live your life this way all the time. Now, you've gone through the deeper path. In the deeper path, we teach you about your opus. And I heard you read your opus to your ladies, right? And the last night. But I have done this as a lifestyle. My opus is elevated to this standard, and yes, my family's in it, my faith is in it. But that's why I have no trouble absolutely saying no to things. Because I've already pre-decided what my yes is. Why is this important? Because according to Cornell University, you're going to make 226.7 food decisions today. Did you catch that? Cornell University, Google it. 226.7 food decisions you're going to make today. Your subconscious is going to look at the Subway menu and take it all in. And what it's doing is it's creating decision fatigue. And that's why Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs pre-decided what their wardrobe was every day. Because they said, I'm not going to waste mental energy on trivial decisions. So what I've done is I've created a life that the average person probably has to make, I think this is true, I think it's around 36,000 decisions a day. Me? I probably make around 3,000, and even then you're like, what the heck? I probably make 10% of the decisions so that I can spend that other 90% on what really matters, okay? So Pat, you've pre-decided your next 18 days. And you know what? I think God wouldn't be mad if you skip church, all right? Don't tell Dean, all right? But, like, people are going to be having church with your book, okay? So Preacher Pat is at her pulpit writing today. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's literally what you need to do. That's how you don't get hacked. If it means turning off your phone on airplane mode, right? No, I'm not saying. I just thought of it. It's a subconscious trigger, right? But right? Notifications, Facebook, you know, fast, whatever. It's Jack we're talking about, right? So, I mean, you might think I'm crazy, but I actually asked my parents not to come down last June, delay their visit by 2 weeks because of this, okay? My parents are retired, it doesn't matter to them. But they said, can we come down in the teens of June? I said, no, you can't. I said, I will not be there, present with you mentally if you're there and I'm thinking about the book. I said, come June 23rd, because that was due June 22nd. You see the point? Yes. People will work with you if you have clarity. Remember my quote? Clarity attracts, confusion repels. Clarity attracts. You want to be an attractive person, have clarity. I'll close with a U2 story, just because U2 is cool. Can I tell a U2 story to close today? Then we'll go offline, and if you need anything, let me know. True story. NBA Finals. I believe it was 2001. U2 was playing in. Let me think of the city here. I want to say it was Boston. I'll check. They were playing, and the major news came to them and said, look, you're playing the same night as the NBA Finals. We will pay you a lot of money if we can cut in at halftime as halftime starts and we cut in at the concert. You're going to get tremendous exposure, NBA Finals. You're going to get a pile of money, and all we're doing is to ask you during your concert to wait till we are ready at halftime and then go into one of your great songs. What do you think Bono said?
No.
No. Why did he say no?
He was engaged with his audience.
Do you know this story?
No.
Okay, cool. But Bono says, we sold tickets to the people in the room. I'm not going to delay our concert because someone went out of bounds and they needed a timeout and halftime was delayed a few seconds. He said, the answer is no. What do you think his band members said? You know? I mean, gee, right? The Edge might have been like, what's your problem on it? You know, that's a lot of cash, that's a lot of exposure. What do you think the news station said to him? They said, tell you what, same amount of money, we'll cut in wherever you are. Bono said, okay. I have the DVD. It's a great DVD. When they cut in, Bono's on his knees and he's reciting Psalm 116, what can I give back to God for all the blessings he's poured out on me? And then he stands up and then he laps the whole stage, which was a heart, that concert. And he breaks into Where the Streets Have No Name. It was the most epic part of the whole concert. Unplanned. I mean, you cannot plan the timing with the timeouts and all that. Here's the point. Clarity attracts. The news station said, we want you, no problem, we'll bend to your concessions. I want to hear the story, Pat, because I know that's been a big boon for you. So we're all holding that goal for you, okay? 18 days. All right? So I'm going to end officially. I know Erica sent some links for the Elixir book, the conference. It was a blast hanging with you guys online today, and thanks for being here with me. All right? Awesome. Thanks, guys.